Well, that's the best video I'm after ever getting of a Tawny Mining Bee, and it was feeding on this plant, and I can't remember what this plant is, but someone identified it a few days ago for me, and obviously they like this. They like to feed on the pollen from this. You can see that female there, beautiful female. She was really a fresh one, and she's all colourful, and she was feeding on the flowers. There are dozens and dozens of nests already after only 4 days, 5 days maybe, because I probably didn't find the first ones because they're probably a little bit hidden. But here's a nest right under the bush here. Oh, there's a female actually looking out of this, and the females actually, despite being really brightly coloured, they're not. There's that nest, and then there's these nests, and I'm being very, very careful where I walk because even though they're quite big, those nests are like a fistful of earth, and the deeper they get, the more earth appears, of course. But they're a beautiful creature. And in this garden there's no sprays used or anything like that. You can see there's a female in there resting on a leaf. They do that, they're very furtive. Look at that, and she's beautiful. And they're like a little bumblebee. Some of them are actually quite large, they're about the size of a small bumblebee. But they're like a little bumblebee going around. They almost look like a teddy bear, to be honest. I know it sounds funny, but and we're quite near a road, as you can hear. So you see there's a road right behind that hedge, but it's a good high hedge, which is probably helping. And this is basically a very wild meadow type lawn. But you've got like your lords and ladies, and then you've got crabapple, like clinomales and things like that. And yeah, so that just gives you an idea of the sort of place it is. And then of course we have like a cow slips we got the seeds of, but I think they're more like fall sock slips, a lot of them, but they should of course revert to being, some of them have to revert to being cow slips. Nice little place. And very old apple trees as well. I sometimes see them on the apple. I have seen them feeding on apple. I've seen them feeding on dandelion as well. Berberis, there's a red berberis over there, and my neighbour has very impressive berberis. And they are on that. Look at that berberis. That's, I think, the main attraction. Oh, there's another female around the bluebells. I'd say there's a lot in under those bluebells now. See her? There she goes. Whoa. Jump onto the ground and fly around. I actually noticed they prefer if you mow your lawn just before they appear. They like shorter grass. Right, nobody will mow this lawn probably until June. Now, one just landed on my hand as I was holding this, using me of some kind of a platform. But there's so many of them, you don't notice. In fact, just they could be. There's a female actually right back there. There you go, look at that. Is she beautiful? The males are not particularly spectacular. That's a male there, and you see, the only thing is he has a white face and he has huge jaws. They have a kind of hammer-shaped head. You'll notice it when you see it from above. You don't notice it when you see it here. But look, see, and a white face. That white face is really important for identifying them, apparently. I was no expert when I first found these. It's just you couldn't miss, could you? Like they don't look like anything else. I didn't know they were so rare in Ireland. In fact, it was only sheer coincidence somebody found one in Kilkenny, and I happened to spot it on the National Biodiversity Data Centre's website, Biodiversity Ireland website, and when I saw that I just said, wait a minute, I have a few hundred out in the garden. And then I thought, okay, it's another one of those situations where something, because of public ignorance and my own ignorance as an example, because of that ignorance, things are under-recorded, so we don't really know. I know people say, oh, well, it's not recorded here or it's not recorded there, we don't have it. We don't know, we don't have it. All we know is we don't know.